How would you explain Israel to people who never heard about it? I would explain it as mixed and interesting. There's so many people who are very accepting, and you can describe it as very weird and unique, and you will never meet this kind of country in any other place in the world.
What is Israel for you? For me, Israel is more than just a place I love. It's a lot of people that are connected and share the same passion for wanting to live together and share the same history, and I really love this place.
Israel for me is a place where I feel safe and belong to my people and my culture, and there is a love for everybody.
Israel for me is a country that all the Jews can come here and they don't be hated.
Do you like living in Israel, and why? Well, I like living in Israel because there are a lot of nice places to look at, like the Carmel mountains up north, and Eilat down in the south, and it's very nice down there and up there, which, like, when you go there, then like some places are deserts and then immediately changes to forest, to a forest, which is really nice. But other than that, it's just like there's a lot of places in Israel that mean a lot to the entire world.
Name one thing about Israel that you love. If I had to choose one thing that I love about this country, is that every person is different. There are so many races, African, Russian, Arabic. Every single person is different, and every single person has a different interesting personality, and that's what I like about Israel.
I love the closeness between us as a society. Like every time you see a person in the street or something, and you need to ask for help or something, like you're saying like, bro, what's up, can you help me, or something, like we're just so together, you know, and yeah, that's what I love about it.
What is one sentence that describes Israeli people the best? Kind-hearted people that really love to help you when you need their help. Sometimes they may seem a little bit cold, but they really will help you when you need their help the most.
They are stubborn and they're not give up easily.
Well, it's kind of difficult to say, but one word that I would personally use to describe them is very nice. Well, actually that's two words, but they're nice. Like, some people are kind of mean, but that happens all around the world, not just here. But most of the people here in Israel, they're nice, they appreciate others, and they use manners every day.
If you could describe Israel in one word, what would it be? I would describe it as mixed. There's so many groups of people, for example, Russians and people from Africa, and so many different groups of people, and we all live together. And it's very peaceful and very nice, and it's very unique that we live together in such harmony together.
What would you say to a person who never lived in Israel that will make him want to move here? I think it's a great place. We have an amazing healthcare, and we have a great army, so we're protected.
What is your favorite Israeli food? My favorite Israeli food is falafel. It's small balls around this size. It's salty and very delicious, and I recommend it for everyone.
How do you feel about living in a country considered as the enemy for so many people around the world? I feel attacked most of the times, and it's very annoying that many famous people also think that we are the enemy, and many people think that way because of ignorance and because they're not willing to listen from the other side. It's very annoying because, well, I don't think we're wrong, and I think we can live in peace, but many people are not willing to listen.
I think that in this case, our part of the story, the Israeli part, was swept under the rug by the media, and it only shared the Palestinian side. And people were too quick to judge without seeing both sides of the story. And many celebrities were bombarded with hate for just not giving out a statement quickly enough and for not saying how they hate Israel so much. I think if people weren't as quick and would just take some time to learn about what really happened and hear out both sides, their opinion and views on this situation would be extremely different. And if people weren't so quick to just get on the bandwagon effect and just get on the hate, it would really not be the enemy, because it really isn't. It just, people like to think that it is, but if they just dig around some more, they will find out it really isn't.
Well, actually, it's a complicated matter because, well, I personally don't consider the people here in Israel like the enemy, but a lot of people around the world see it that way, which is kind of sad, to be honest, because a lot of people have been hunting us for hundreds of years, and I think it's unjust to clarify us as the enemies when we're just when we just want, like, all we want is just some peace and to just live our lives happily without others bothering us.
I think it's annoying most of the times to have to defend your country in every single argument, but because I am a citizen of Israel, so I think it's important to defend it, because if I won't, who will?
If a person visits Israel for the first time, which place would you recommend them to visit first? I will recommend them to visit Eilat. It's a very warm place, and there's a beautiful sea and great people. There are many exciting parties, and the prices there are lower than usual in Israel. And I visit there like every year, like twice a year with my family since I was 3 years old, and I have so much fun, so I really recommend it to everyone.
If I had to choose one place, I would probably choose Jerusalem, because there are so many races there. You can actually visit the Arabic side of Israel and the Jewish side of Israel there, and there are so many interesting places, and you can also connect to your God there.
I would recommend the Dead Sea, actually. Some say it's a healing sea. It has salts that can heal wounds and disease, and also it's the lowest place on earth, actually.
Are you proud of being an Israeli? Yes, I am proud. It's a part of me. I grew up in Israel. I love everything about Israel, the country, the people, the food. It's amazing.
I really am proud of being an Israeli. I love telling people that I'm from here and telling them why it's such a good country to live in. And I feel so proud every time I say it out loud.